Someone who's a crypto or blood or a drug addict in the street. They don't know anything about the Bible or God. They're cold. Then it's us. In the UPK, we are what? Hot. That's us. Hot,
straight out of one west, ooh, I'm too hot. My grandma keep on telling me I need to cool life. Quick to pull the switches out, pull the two locks. We are home of the truth, my niggas can't get hot, 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 hot. How many fake groups must get dissed before they really figure out who the Lord is with? I'm about to burn Babylon with these bars of spit. Niggas swearing they won't beef, well let's start some shit. I roll with warriors with swords and sticks, so keep stepping. Without a mind shit, this brotherhood is a weapon. This nation we protected, head for Armageddon. Told them niggas no sweat, but these other niggas is sweating. I ain't take the heat, nigga get out the kitchen. Ain't nothing these niggas saying you can find in the scriptures. They still out breakdowns and trying to convert a gripper, trying to do the Lord's work, but he fell in love with his scripture. We can't afford to be playing around with the Lord. It's when God faith and baptism on one accord. If you ain't a hot nigga, you might as well hit the mold. My niggas gon' stand firm while you niggas follow the sword. Straight out of one west, ooh, I'm too hot. My grandma keep on telling me I need to cool out. Quick to pull the switch out, pull the two locks. You the home of the truth, my niggas ain't getting that hot.
H-O-T-T, what that mean? Gotta spell it out. Home of the proof, got the truth. Take it out of doubt. Niggas getting wicked, need to breathe. Take the clock, what the priest is banging, not so heavy. Go and break it down in your town. Roots is on the ground all year round. When the summer, spring, and fall, we prophesying to the clouds. We cry it out. I say your ass at home, cause life is all about war. Don't make me go blast the chrome when they go to each his own. Nah, to each his own. We taking over the world, bringing the prophets home. And I dare any of you fake niggas to stand in my way. You niggas is gay. You wearing purple panties, you great. Wearing the braces on socks on the block. Talking to cops, trying to make it arrest. Think you on West. We ain't calling you out, that's why no affiliation. We don't fuck with you out because and you know this, man. If it ain't the UPK, then it's bogus, man.
We set a blaze to the street and we prophesy to the wave. Be amazed with the seed for prophets feeding. I can't be set fire to them lies and hope. They open their eyes, no niggas will see the truth. And if it's written on the blind, they're beating not to see. The real priests who change the lives. Commander General, your hunter, the son is out here to teach. These niggas done drop your swords, now you thief like preachers. Looking for another way round and ain't got no discipline. Take the work than the warriors in Southeast Michigan. We aware that you been listening, visiting online. You ain't my bone, cause you ain't got no spine. You weak in the mind, your vision is so few with your ride. And you can keep it cause they the power to hold our line. You out here live by individuals, practicing wicked rituals. He ain't a hot boy cause you falling what these bitches do.
Straight out of one west, ooh, I'm too hot. My grandma keep on telling me I need to cool out. Quick to pull the switch out, pull the two locks. We the home of the truth, my niggas ain't getting hot, 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 hot. Ain't a hot boy that you got that. Hot, 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 hot. Ain't a hot boy that you got that.
Couple cars, arsenal, okay. Busy man.
Huh. So they call me, tell me she sick. I say I wonder why. Been running it up and giving a shit. I think she switches out. They want me to fail, leave me in hell. I keep my head to the sky. Yeah, no coward, never let your colors fly. I'm on that shit till I die. I stand on that shit till I die. Yeah, I'm on that shit till I die. Been waiting too long, now it's my time. I ain't letting nothing slide. Yeah, I'm on that shit till I die. I stand on that shit till I die. They getting down on me, taking ground. I'm on this shit till I die. I just did the math. If I stay on point, yeah, I can cash out 2 weeks. Then fly out to Vegas, kick on my feet, my bitch like mission complete. Niggas ain't real, they sweet. They like a kiss on the cheek. Ain't going for shit. I'm loaded and locking and knocking that shit on repeat. Just fill up a check with my brothers tomorrow. We paint the city, man. I'm dropping hits, pull up his list. I should do a cinematic. No nigga, I've been a threat, but you do that. Try to cap, why you do that? I just bounced back for the third time. She like, damn man, how you do that? Fuck the rap, I want the direction, be a superstar. I'm in the kitchen, cooking the classic, handing the cooking job. Check my profile and stay with soldiers, it's on my avatar. About to pull up the car, she breaking the necks, I'm fresh as a salad bar. So they call me, tell me she's sick. I say I wonder why. Been running it up and giving the shit. I think she's till I die. I'm still on that shit till I die. Yeah, I'm on that shit till I die. Been way too long now, it's my time. I ain't letting nothing slide. Yeah, I'm on that shit till I die. I'm still on that shit till I die. They getting down on me, take it down. I'm on this shit till I die. Two things I hate is a whole and a fake nigga speculation. When I get the power, bitch, I'ma make the rules and the regulations. Tap me on the shoulder, boy, I promise I'm not hesitating. Got critical rounds in the Glock, check them in like a reservation. I'm still on this shit, the man on this bitch, look at my reputation. Demolish the game, didn't make renovation. I ain't waiting, bitch, I'm being patient. Tell them fake niggas that they never up. The number one West fuck a runner up. Told them that the way was over, everything over. That's just sum it up. Don't count, I give it nothing up. One time we can drum it up. AK load 100 up. Said winning, I ain't won enough. I know she love how I'm coming up. I see it in the eyes, say she wanna ride, tuck her pride like a button up. So they call me, tell me she sick. I say I wonder why. Be running it up and giving it shit. I think she switches out. They want me to fail, leave me in hell. I keep my head to the sky. That no coward never let your colors fly. I'm on that shit till I die. I stand on that shit till I die. Yeah, I'm on that shit till I die. Been way too long now, it's my time. I ain't letting nothing slide. Yeah, I'm on that shit till I die. I stand on that shit till I die. They get down on me, take it down. I'm on that shit till I die.
We take an oath in here, man. We don't just talk, we walk. We in this thing until we die. We stand on it. That's what we do. We're gonna stick with the bars. We're gonna stick to the essence. We universal. Let's go to Chi-Town. Yo, Dad, what's up?
In my mind, I wanna find the sunny side, but misery, yeah, I see this movie 100 times. I can't forget it, it's ever present, treat of perfection. And every lesson, I guess it's just a pain of reflection. Who would've known that tragedy was a life sentence? Painful memories tapping into my five senses. I feel the chills, I hear the sirens, I see the lights. I smell the smoke, I taste the sour, I get a life. I am my Uncle Chris, and we can get it right. I'm not even on the way, but still some real advice. I didn't listen, had different interests of money vision. Until my brother got sentenced to do that there in prison. I smell the stench of the waiting room, I'm waiting fume. I'm saying really this killer just ain't the way to move. I hear the voice of my teacher telling me stay in tune. I feel I hated Cook County more than I hated school. The hospital with jail, couldn't stomach the smell. I'm feeling change, real niggas, the ones who can tell. Gave steam on all the work if you wanted to sell. The spirit of your house shot brought a nigga from hell. In my mind, I wanna find the sunny side, but misery, yeah, I seen this movie 100 times. I can't forget it, it's ever present, train of perfection. And every lesson, I guess, is just a pain of reflection. In my mind, I wanna find the sunny side, but misery, yeah, I seen this movie 100 times. I can't forget it, it's ever present, train of perfection. And every lesson, I guess, is just a pain of reflection. No matter how many years pass, I feel the pain. My vivid memories playing on repeat in my brain. It's like a real life movie, truly an evil thing. I'm seeing scenes of my people I never see again. My brother May got out of prison, I went to get him. Since 17, up in the system, that's how he living. Spent so many years betting it really isn't. So many brushes with that, like saying not to get him. I mean, my nigga got shot, stabbed, we to him choke. Raise the blade to the face, they try to slit his throat. I try to think of some different reasons to keep him close. Instead of hitting these bitches, wishing it even more. And he said he ain't going back, heard that before. One hit of that package, he going back for more. But this time he was right, said he'd rather go. From the seat of his truck, died from an overdose. In my mind, I wanna find the sunny side, but misery, yeah, I seen this movie 100 times. I can't forget it, it's ever present, train of perfection. And every lesson, I guess, is just a pain of reflection. In my mind, I wanna find the sunny side, but misery, yeah, I seen this movie 100 times. I can't forget it, it's ever present, train of perfection. And every lesson, I guess, is just a pain of reflection.
That pain hit deep, man. UPK, once again, 1 West, 125th Street, man. All we know is pain, man. All we know is making it work, going to war. From Chi-Town to New York to California, we outside all the time, man. Y'all don't understand our pain. We unintended project kids. You may not relate, man. We gotta keep on warring, keep on fighting, keep on going, because we know where we came from and we know where we go. One West, y'all. It's UPK to the death. We ain't never stopping, man. Always going. Y'all niggas better catch up. Bad news. Y'all will never catch up. We run this. Y'all ain't ready yet, man. Here it come right now. Prepare yourself. Here comes the boom.
Here come the boom. Look who just stepped in the room. Got soldiers in every direction. As long as they stepping in tone. I've been all black with the groove. Watch him ever lie fall to a doom. Lord, know I'm ready, and I know that you know that her love is deadly, but I am a bill. These niggas talking rule the home. That's a spot you be moving soon, and you be leaving shortly. Still fucking with them agents, yeah, they still enforcement. Got a whole lot of zeal, I can't get it all fit. Plus I'm with it like I got a blue ribbon orbit. He ain't from West, bitch, I'm in your party. See, I knew these niggas like to do that pillow talk. That's why I bought a Glock to the summer party. Got it on the dust. I just began to it pretty much. That brotherhood and what we gotta keep it in the club. If it ain't one much, nigga, I don't wanna hear it, keep your tone down. Had a couple complications, but it's on down. So you can kill a speculation, bitch, I'm thrown down. And if you want a conversation, so they sold down. Nigga, what he say, I ain't hear him out of zone down. Can't walk this a low bound. I'm 44, I'm on another level with it. These niggas never listen, so I let the devil get his ass. I try to tell him, I'm a rebel nigga. Better be careful if you ever think I'm stepping in my pound. Cause it ain't no game, stay ain't no lane. Now I'm playing twisted metal with his ass. Got it off the top. I just began to it pretty much. Your brotherhood and what we gotta keep it in the cut. From finish to my main bitch, I think I got a crush. And she got that got some sick shit inside me. But you know it should be came versus every Friday. Got the job through the buttons like you Teddy Riley. Then my race through the track like a Ricky Bobby. Got it off the dust. I just began to it pretty much. Your brotherhood and what we gotta keep it in the cut. Gotta keep it with me, it's a must. I just began to it pretty much. The brotherhood and what we gotta keep it in the club. If it ain't one West, nigga,
You heard what he said. If it won't West, nigga, watch your goddamn mouth, man. We ain't the same. We not the same. We'll never be the same. We react different. We live different. And we're gonna keep on pushing this through until your house return, sucker. And y'all niggas out there, y'all lukewarm. Y'all can never be us. Cause we hot. Burning hot. Let's get it. Let's take it to the concrete real quick. Let's take it back to the bricks. You know what we do. We represent for our niggas, man. Our niggas, let's go.
Already was born ready, I'm all ready. I'm saying this now, making sure that the wall ready. Yeah. We got some drop-offs, battle formation. I'm waiting for you to pop off. Right after you make your first move, get your rocks off. Next thing you'll head to the dirt. We are not soft. I took a loss, but no, I ain't panicking. I be making moves. You stay still like a mannequin. Think you got the force, but shit, I'm feeling like Anakin. Hit the chick with that lightsaber, Mike Saber. It moves tight, made it with light paper. And H-Town on them blades like an ice skater. Yeah, at that One West Passover. Sit down, take a seat to the glass over. Far from sober, but I ain't puffing on Doja. Bartender, bring me tequila. Hold the soda, shit. Hold the ice too. Flood it like a typhoon. We can get 6 shooters in places high noon. We had Player Street, all-star studded like it's all-star weekend with all my brothers. Ain't nobody fucking round with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around,
If they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. Ain't nobody fucking around with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. Die for my niggas. They show me in the squad solidified. I'm down the ride, go to war like I've been a job. You niggas whores, I'm the ball, plus I've been a vibe. You can't feel me, unless you sip 100 proof. I got 100 soldiers with me, that's 200 boots. We get to stomping like a Kappa or a Q. But don't mistake me for no rapper, I'm the Jew. The streets cold, so I throw on the cover. You a bitch, don't get mad at me, get mad at your mother. Put my life on the line like I got me another, yeah, shit. It's like I'm on another level here. You second tier, I'm pulling guns, that's on Metal Gear. It's hell out here, but shit, I die heavenly. AK equipped with the drum, it holds 70. Twin revolvers, fuck if you dust like Yosemite, yeah. I hear a lot of rappers puffing on their enemies. I don't smoke, but I drink their tears like it's Hennessy, yeah. But it is what it is. Ain't no nicotine, but I is what this is. I just had a dream and I did what I did. And Philly body's dropping every day where I live. So I don't even wanna hear about rappers. Heavy gut push, not the air out rappers. Ain't nobody fucking around with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. Ain't nobody fucking around with my niggas. You know who I go to ground with, my niggas. You know when they come around, if they wanna clown, then we gun them down for my niggas. For my niggas. My niggas, ride for my job, cry for my niggas.
You know what time it is, y'all? I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all, man. This brotherhood is crazy. And all we do is fight for our niggas. Forever.
I ain't getting nothing on my screen. Let me cut this off and cut it back on. Hold on.
See what we do. I get it.
All right. What's going on with Matt then? Hey, clap it up. Salakia for the technical difficulties. Of course, it's the Isupk. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahana. This is Monday's Brotherhood class. I'm with Officer 500, Ramawan, as usual. I also got Officer 500, Karunga Bar, in the building, holding down the Monday Brotherhood class with me, which is the excellent show of Brotherhood. This brother traveled far, in whichever means he has to be able to come to class, and that's a true show of Brotherhood from that brother. You understand? Of course, since 1969, we've been trying to wake up Blacks, Hispanics, and North American Indians to who they are according to the Bible, according to God. Let's see, what do we have recently? What we dealing with it today? So Memorial Day. I'll just start off right there. A lot of blacks and Hispanics don't understand the true spirit behind Memorial Day. It wasn't for blacks and Hispanics to be celebrating. And I know that because we think that we're a part of America, and we want to live the American dream and live the American way. We feel that we have to celebrate the customs of America, and what that does to us is it destroys us as a people. Memorial Day is, if you historically go back to what Memorial Day is, it was started by the Confederate Army. If you know anything about history, you know the Confederate Army was the government that wanted to keep slavery. Keep that form of slavery on plantations and stuff like that. When those soldiers died, they would go and place flowers on the grave sites, memorializing those soldiers who died in the battle to keep slavery. You understand? So this is why it's so out of spirit for blacks and Hispanics to even think that they are a part of Memorial Day, when Memorial Day is the exact opposite of what you should be celebrating, because it had nothing to do with you other than the fact that they wanted to keep you in slavery, and they died to keep you in slavery. There were people who died and memorialized just so you can stay in slavery and stay under the foot, of the oppressor. You understand? If you could, Baba Kashan, let's start off with Amos chapter 5 and verse 21.
God.
And here's the problem with blacks and Hispanics today, North American Indians. We believe if we follow these customs and celebrate these customs with the oppressor, that he'll give us a little bit of sympathy. He'll give us a little bit of mercy when we out in the streets getting gunned down by police officers who don't care about your children. You know who the police care about? They care about Blue Lives Matter. That's who they care about. They don't care about your brothers and sisters who's getting shot down in the streets every single day at the hands of a police officer who understands that right now his supremacy matters more than your life. And because he realizes that, he will kill you and take the risk of possibly getting lifetime in prison. But guess what? He also know his brothers ain't gonna allow him to go to prison for a lifetime for killing you, because you're not worth it. To them, you're not worth it, but to you, it's worth living the lifestyle of a people that the Bible calls lesser than you are. The Most High said that he made us as a holy people above all people on the face of the earth. But yet we choose the customs of the lesser man than who we are. Why not follow your own customs? You understand? You should be memorializing all those brothers that has died in the street due to the hands of our oppressor. You understand? The Paytons and the ones who killed Trayvon Martin and all those oppressors that kill you in the streets of America. They don't memorialize your death, but they will memorialize the death of they fallen soldiers, because what they fought for meant so much to the American people. You got to think about it. As the Confederate Army started this Memorial Day, this holiday, it means something to them. It's a strong effect. And not only does it mean something, they give you a day off work now for it, don't they? It's a federal holiday. It's a federal holiday, Memorial Day, at the expense of your brothers and sisters who died in civil rights, who died during the Civil War, who died in, going through all of these situations in America. They've died for that. And you think when you celebrate Memorial Day, it's celebrating the memorialization of you? Nah, man. You got what I need.
You said Amos 5:1. It's the book of Amos chapter 5, verse 1.
21. Sorry.
Amos chapter 5, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
I despise your feast days.
The Lord said, I hate and I despise your feast days. So all y'all who was out there barbecuing, grilling, thinking it was just a family affair, you understand? God ain't with your feast days. This is a feast day of the oppressor, man, of another nation that the Lord ain't with. So believe when you go into these barbecues, somebody gonna get gunned down. When you go into these barbecues, brothers and cousins are gonna fight each other and go to jail tonight because the Lord ain't with these feasts, these holidays. Go ahead.
Oh God. And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Not only does he hate it and despise it, he don't even want to smell in your solemn. He don't even want to be a part. He don't want nothing to do with it. You understand? When evil comes, you won't have protection from the Most High because this is not something that he encourages. The Lord encourages Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, these feasts that he made for blacks and Hispanics to be able to come together as a family and show brotherhood and sisterhood. This wasn't one of them. This just wasn't, but it was definitely commercialized by the Christian church. And the pastors in the Christian church, all they wanted to do was hold hands with the government because they was getting paid for it. So as long as they getting paid to do a job, of course, they gonna lead they flock into destruction, which they doing today. Read.
Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offering, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts.
So although you say we barbecuing, we barbecuing and we gonna pray over this barbecue. It's just a family affair. Y'all all join hands at the table after this burnt offering that I don't understand if you blacks and Hispanics realize that these barbecues are considered burnt offerings to which you believe is to the Lord.
That's right.
But the Lord tells you he don't smell in them. Y'all go to that table and y'all hold hands and y'all say, let's pray over our food. But the Lord don't hear none of that. You understand?
That's right.
Somebody might choke on a chicken bone tonight after you prayed over this food because the Lord will not protect you during this feast because he's not with it. Read that from the top if you could, Baba Kashab.
21 or 22?
22 from the top.
Verse 22, though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offering of thy fat beasts.
Neither will he regard the peace offering of your fat beasts. And that's so important because if you realize that every one of these holidays that you join yourself with the oppressor to, there's always multiple killings, multiple deaths in these holidays. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Christmas, Halloween, like all these days that you share with the oppressor. Those holidays are the most chaotic holidays when it comes to blacks and Hispanics. Most death, I believe, this past weekend already was charted 40 shootings over the weekend, 6 deaths over the weekend, over Memorial Day weekend. While you're sitting here memorializing the oppressor and the death that happened while they were trying to fight for their supremacy, we're here killing each other in the celebration of them killing themselves just to have supremacy over us. Like how does that make sense? And this is the reason why Memorial Day continues to thrive in America. It continues to thrive because blacks and Hispanics will support something that is so monstrous as celebrating the memorialization of some soldiers who risked their lives to make sure blacks and Hispanics stayed in shackles. You understand? You got that article I sent you, Salakia, from Ramawan.
You want the John on Memorial Day?
Khan, if you could. That let
me get that text. All right. Here you go. I got it right here. So, what you want me to read it from the top?
Yeah, you can read it from the top if you could, Baba Kashab.
This is from Kansas Reflector.
Do the other one that I sent you from Chicago.
Come.
This is how heinous of a holiday of all holidays is, because you don't even understand that you're what you're celebrating is causing you to be destroyed. You understand? We're dying over these holidays. We're dying every single day over these holidays, man. Here's the part that makes sense to me. If you blacks and Hispanics, we go to Passover, we go to Feast of Unleavened Breads, we go to all of these feasts that we go to. we go to them, and we come in the spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood. Of course, when I say brotherhood, that's brotherhood and sisterhood. But let me tell you the difference between when we go into our feast days versus what blacks and Hispanics have to deal with when they go into these days like Memorial Day. When we go into our feast days, no one dies because the Lord is with us. When we go into our Passovers, no one dies because the Lord is with us.
That's right.
But then you got 40 people that get shot during Memorial Day weekend. You understand?
So
go ahead. Go ahead.
Three more. Since you sent me this article, because it's an updated article.
Mm-hmm.
3 more people got shot, and all 3 of them died.
Good night.
So it's 8. Well, Slovakia. 2 out of the 3 of them died.
So it was 40 and 6 died. Now you got 43 right now, and 8 dead at the hands of Memorial Day. Does it not tell you that the Lord is not in this assembly? Is not with this holiday, with this feast day that you call, but you will say, oh, we just family getting together. Well, I tell you something, when my family get together, there's no murder. There's no crime when my family get together. We come together under the Lord's feast days.
That's right.
And those feast days they're glorious.
That's
if you went to Passover, you would see that, there was no crime. Brothers was dropping wallets. Brothers was dropping wallets and phones. You wouldn't believe this, but it was brothers found phones and mailing it back to brothers across the whole United States.
That's
man.
Right.
No crime happens when we in the assemblies that the Lord had given us. You got that?
Come.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
You got this from CST, which is a Chicago Daily article.
Mm-hmm.
We have 43 people shot in Chicago over Memorial Day weekend.
Good night.
It says 8 of those 43 people who were shot died. Authorities said more than a quarter were wounded in a single police district on the west side. So a quarter was basically in one district on the west side.
This is a quarter of these shootings happened in this one district on the west side. You understand? Go ahead.
Memorial Day weekend in Chicago has again lived up to its violent expectations.
Mm-hmm. This is something that the Isupk speaks about on every one of these holidays that the oppressor, allows us to join ourselves into. And what it ends up being is blacks and Hispanics killing themselves all over the earth. It's a mass. It's almost like a mass suicide for us to even just join into these holidays.
Right.
You understand? We go out and we get drunk and mingle with each other, and it's cousins and uncles that hated each other all year that have to sit in the same house with that same uncle and get drunk. And guess what you're gonna do at the end of that day? Because you don't know how to take your brother into a room and settle a difference for a whole year. You're gonna go and you're gonna beat your uncle up, or you're gonna kill him. We've talked about holidays multiple times where they've killed each other over a turkey. A brother wanted the last wing of the turkey, man, and killed his own uncle. Tell me that ain't wicked, man. You understand? But here in Isupk, we teach that, first of all, brotherhood is a necessity.
That's right.
And if you love your brother enough, you will come out of these holidays and come into the school and learn under some prophets of the Lord, man, that is really true about this. It's in their blood. It's in their DNA now.
That's right. That's right.
You understand? So you got some more on that?
Come.
Yeah.
By Monday evening, 43 people has been shot in the city over the holiday weekend as the Chicago Police Department canceled officers' days off in anticipation of the historically violent unofficial start of summer.
Listen to that. Good night. So 43 people have been shot in the city over the holiday weekend. And as a result of that, the Chicago Police Department canceled officers' days off. These officers can't even get days off now because they anticipate these poor black and Hispanic neighborhoods to have a historical start of a summer when it comes to killing and murdering each other.
That's right.
You understand? They made sure that they got, not only because they know that blacks is gonna kill blacks, they also have some officers on duty to make sure that those blacks that's killing blacks go get locked up. They getting a 2-for-1 out of us. You understand? Go ahead. You can go to the next paragraph.
Eight of this weekend shooting victims had died by Monday morning. Authorities said more than a quarter of victims were wounded in a single West Side police district, the 11th Harris district, which had 2 mass shootings on Sunday.
Good night. They had 2 mass shootings just on Sunday, and usually, I don't know how it works in other cities, but usually in Chicago, when they do Memorial Day, they do it on a Sunday because you ain't got to work on Monday. And I guarantee you, this had a lot to do with just them coming together in Memorial Day and barbecuing and everybody getting together. And somebody saw an op and decided to just shoot up everybody who was around them. Didn't care about who, if it was children and kids, and that's the mindset of the oppressor. If you think about it, it's the same thing which happened with Peyton. Peyton walked into that store and he didn't care if it was kids. He didn't care if it was old people. It was an 86-year-old lady who died at the hands of this wicked bastard. Slakia for my language, for this wicked, oppressor.
Wicked bastard. You can say
bastard. For this wicked bastard, you understand? It was a story that 8-year-old girl, to escape this oppressor running there with this assault rifle, she had to hide in the freezer until he was taken out of the place. She could have very well lost her life, and she feared enough. She knew that it was that much chaos going on, and she knew that her life was at stake enough to go and hide. Well, that's the same thing a lot of these brothers and sisters is doing, in our city. They go and shoot up a block, and it's the same mindset as your oppressor. You helping the oppressor kill your people, man, and that's so unbrotherly. It's so unbrotherly because you sit here and you can't forgive your brother for something so small. So you can't forgive your brother for something that's so small, man. And all it takes is for you to just take a brother to the side and away from everybody. You ain't got to lose your pride. You ain't got to lose your clout in the streets and all that. And just pull a brother to the side and say, hey, man, you wronged me. You know what I'm saying? You wronged me 8 years ago. I know we grew up together in elementary school and we was best friends. But when we turned 18, man, you wronged me, man, because you trying to talk to the girl who I'm no longer with, and I felt like that was wrong. And a lot of times that can heal a relationship with your brother, just coming to him and acknowledging that you did wrong, and that brother can now accept you. You understand? If you could, Baba Kasha, give me Salakia. Give me Matthew 5 and 20, 5 and 39. Salakia.
Come.
This is this simple for Blacks and Hispanics to come together, man, and learn how to be brotherly to each other enough to where we can survive long enough for Christ to return and take his kingdom back. They've been putting us against each other for so long, and now it's almost like everyday life that we shoot at each other. It's almost like everyday life that you go in and out of having friendships with brothers that you've been friends with for years. And small things have been the reason behind this. You can't forgive your brother for something so small, and your emotions carry you into just hating your brother. It's like, you got that?
Matthew 9 and 39, you said?
No, 3 and 39.
3 and 39. Come on.
No, 5 and 39. So let me get that with you though first. Here we go. Where I'm at.
5 and 39.
That ain't it. Oh, yeah, it is. Go ahead, read that.
The book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 39.
Mm-hmm.
But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other side also.
This is Christ. This is Christ speaking. You understand? It says, but I say unto you, read that again.
But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, But whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other also.
It's saying, don't resist not evil. You understand? But if your brother, hurts you, this is what the Christian church have why they failed us, because a lot of times most of the time the Christian church teaches you, if a man slaps you in your face, to turn the other cheek and get slapped again. This is the same reason Martin Luther King got hit with that rock and he kept going, and he as if he was willing to take another rock to the face. This is not what this is teaching. This is teaching that if your brother hurts you in some way, give the brother a chance to be able to rectify what he did to hurt you, man.
That's right.
You understand? Don't go straight to trying to kill your brother because he made you feel pain for 1 second. You understand? What we got to realize is these brothers and sisters are families, and we've never been able to establish that in the United States of America and all over the earth, because we don't even really understand that they are family. We think that they are ops. When you have two sets, you got a set of BDs and a set of GDs that think that they ops. We destroy.
That's right.
Tell me what's different about these BDs and what's according to these GDs. Tell me what the difference is. Tell me that you both not in poverty. Tell me that you both ain't sitting here getting food stamps from the government so you can eat. Or, of course, we know you got to sell drugs to make enough money to make sure your family has something.
That's right.
You understand? This has been happening for years, and what we've done was it's divided us. You got something?
You can go ahead and finish up.
It's divided us. It's turned us into oppositions, into ops. You don't hear the oppressor around here talking about we ops. Not on one block in America do you see any oppressor saying those my ops over there on Cambridge Street. Not in one. But in every city in America, we have a group of ops that live right on the next block from each other. So in close quarters with death that we got to walk to the street and fear for our lives every single day. You understand? You can go ahead, slide.
So if I may, sir. But it's heavy what you're bringing out, because you got
Most High Christ.
You have brothers, blacks and Hispanics fighting over territories that they have no rights and even own it. They own none of it. None of it is theirs. You know what I'm saying? They fight. You got Vaughn say I ain't from 64th, I ain't from 63rd. You know what I'm saying? Like 63rd, 64th ain't yours. It ain't none of that yours. That's the white man. That's the oppressors. You know what I'm saying? So why they fighting over something that's not theirs? The oppressors around here buying every property in the land to make sure that they build their kingdom up. So your dumb self can have a job to work at, instead of you buying property and really saying, hey, this mine. I bought 64 for real, and now all my brothers and sisters has a place to stay. They want to shoot other brothers over something that ain't even there. So that was just kind of heavy.
No, that's so spot on, because we just went over the statistics and we just gained. When did I send you? I sent you that article maybe an hour ago. So we just got 3 shootings within an hour. I sent them the article. It was 40 and 6, 40 shots, 6 killed. We come and set up class, and lo and behold, 3 more got shot and 2 more got killed. You understand? And that's the work of the oppressor, man. He's been pushing this on us for years. That thug life didn't come from black people. It didn't come from the Hispanics. That came from the Al Capones and the Lucky Lucianis, the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's where these murders and mass murders of different sets and blocks and gangs. It goes all the way back to the Civil War, the Union against the Confederate Army. But let me tell you what in every single instance that the oppressor has opposition with themselves, guess what they always end up doing at the end of the day? They always end up coming together. Every single time. The Confederate Army and the Union Army was opposing each other. They fought, they killed, but at the end of the day, they created the United States. They established something. All of the mob families were in opposition. They killed each other. But at the end of the day, what did they do? They came together and established the families. And now they were bigger than any other gang there was. what the oppressor understands is that sometimes you have to put your pride to the side and come together with your family to establish supremacy. And that's what America is built off of. It's built off white supremacy. But one thing that the white man knows that he can do is he know that he can fight his brother and then turn the other cheek to allow his brother some mercy to come back home. You understand? Matter of fact, give me that article I gave you about Memorial Day, the beginning of Memorial Day. And it's gonna tell you exactly so how this scripture just said, you know, you're supposed to turn the other cheek for your brother. I'm gonna show you why Memorial Day is so successful and why white supremacy is so strong, you know, on this earth right now. You got it?
Come.
Yeah, go ahead if you could, Baba Kashab.
I got Kansas. This is the Kansas Reflector, John, you gave me.
Yep, that's it.
The forgotten history of Memorial Day grew up in aftermath of Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
In the years following the bitter Civil War, a former Union general took a holiday originated by former Confederates and helped spread it across the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
The holiday was Memorial Day, an annual commemoration was born. So like it was born in the former Confederate States in 1866.
So this was a holiday that was born in the Confederate States in the year of 1866. You understand?
So like if I may, that's heavy with the beginning of this, because you see these black niggas all over the world want to tear down these Confederate statues. They want to take down the Confederate names off the streets, and take the Confederate names off the schools, but you still want to celebrate the Confederate holiday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's heavy. We always want to fight for something, unless it got something to do with glutton or lust, they own lustful selfishness, so that you can eat and get yourself so stupidly drunk that you know what I'm saying, that you die the same night. Like, as long as you can do that, like, people love to, they want to do that. But when it comes to sending their kid to one of them Confederate schools, I ain't sending them there. That's a Confederate school. What you selling to bring the Confederate holiday every Memorial Day? That's you celebrating.
Right. And what's so heavy what you bringing out is this. You understand? I think a lot of blacks and Hispanics don't realize that during slavery on the plantation, when the oppressors when they celebrated their holidays, it was a day that they gave you to be able to drink and be merry and have fun with your family. That's why you love it so much, because it's been brainwashed into you to love these holidays. These holidays was given when they knew that they were gonna have families over, and you know they still had people that worked, but they gave you a bottle of wine to be able to celebrate with them. Because guess what they was gonna get out of you? A song and a dance. They was gonna be able to go around and show the rest of their family members from other plantations, you understand, how happy they make their slaves.
Yeah, right.
You understand? It was a brainwashing that we never got over. And to this day, right now, you know, hell, every time I see a sister with some American flag pants on 4th of July, like, good night. You was in slavery, sis. What do you celebrate? What the hell are you celebrating, sis? If I see another brother with a tank top that got the American flag on it, man, I don't know. Look, man, it was hard for me to get out of the world. It was, because it's the world has a lot of lustful things. I'm paraphrasing, but Paul said something to the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to, you know, shake that flesh. You know what I'm saying? The fleshly things is so tough to shake, because it feels good. And doing the right thing, for the most part, don't feel good. A brother dropping his wallet and you giving it back to him don't feel good, because we've been brainwashed, because we don't have money. We're in poverty. So if I see a brother drop a wallet, and I'm like, let me see if he got $100 in here. I pay for my gas, not understanding this brother is in the same position you is on earth.
That's right.
You understand? That's why the Lord said, come out of her, my people. You understand? Because the Lord created us for a way bigger task than what the oppressor is doing with they nation of people. Our nation of people was established to be the hierarchy and hold down the reins of the earth. But because of our disobedience to the Lord, we won't get that privilege until Christ returns.
That's right.
But here's the fun fact. Here's the fun fact. I've been in ISUPK for over two years, almost about 3 years now. And what I've seen since I came into ISUPK is a multitude of brothers and sisters and babies and children coming to the truth and coming to the true culture of who they are according to this Bible. And that makes my heart so joy, because it lets me know that we're getting closer to Christ's return. I know you see everything that's going on in the earth. I know you see the wars and the rumors of wars, just like the Bible has been speaking on for thousands of years. I know you see the plagues in the earth the same way the Bible has been speaking for years. Guess what else you see? You see unidentified flying objects, which the Bible calls chariots, that they've been speaking on for years. The Bible says that there'll be angels over the water. That's what the Bible says. So when you see that UFO dip into the water, that's war tactics. Guess what the oppressor's army can't do? They can't get a automobile to fly and then dip into water. I bet you they can't do that. And the Most High has already planned for the destruction of everything that this earth has to offer, because there shall be a new king that reigns over this earth. And when he comes, he's going to crack the sky with 200 million angels. And you're going to hit a crack of lightning when he comes. You're going to hit a crack of the whip when he comes. And when he comes, he's going to take vengeance on the same people who destroyed his brothers and sisters. The same reason he came, and we have all these scriptures in red, it's going to be the same reason he come back to fight.
Right.
Because he loved his brothers. You understand? Any more in the article? Yeah. Keep going.
And adopted by the United States in 1868, it is a holiday in which the nation honors its military dead.
Mm-hmm.
Says General John A. Logan, who headed the largest Union veterans fraternity at the time, the Grand Army of the Republic, is usually credited as being the originator of the holiday.
If you could go down to generous acts before fruit. It's a little
sir.
bit down. It's in green.
Come on, sir.
I'm about to show you how the oppressor knows that he has to come together with his people to make sure that the overall gist of what the fight was about is established. White supremacy was the reason that the Civil War was created. It was because of white supremacy. It was because one way felt that the other way was taking their forefathers' dream down the wrong lane.
That's right.
And what ended up happening is they split. Now, look, blacks and Hispanics, don't get it wrong. Slavery in the Civil War with slavery had nothing to do with the Confederates wanted slaves versus the North wanted slaves. It had nothing to do with that, because the North wanted slaves too.
You mean not want slaves? The North wanted slaves as well.
Yeah,
the
water. The North wanted slaves just as well as the Confederate Army wanted slaves. Here's what the North knew, though. If they can appease the slaves that was in the South, they would come up to the North and they would have the financial gain and benefit, because, as always, anytime you put Black and Hispanics in any society, that society becomes the most powerful society there is. They knew that. The North and the South knew that whoever had the Blacks and Hispanics and North American Indians, they had the benefit. Go ahead.
Hey, Salagi, that's heavy what you bring it out. It's
Most
like
High in Christ.
It's like I know people who got dogs, and the only reason I like to use this analogy. I know people who got dogs that they so-called say they love, and they beat them every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know people who got dogs who let them eat at the table, sleep in the bed with them.
Right.
At the end of the day, they still their dogs, right?
Damn right.
So it ain't like the North didn't want slaves.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the North wanted to do was pacify you to make you feel like it's good to be a slave. It's a great thing. Here, come up here. It's a great thing. We're gonna let you get a job, but we're still gonna enslave you, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what the South was just they was gun ho. They said, no, these are all they was the one beating
Right.
the dogs. Or in that analogy, so-called dog.
No, you absolutely right. And if you bring it to today's time, it's like the Democrats and the Republicans.
Okay.
You a slave under any one of them. The Democrats, they gonna rub your back. They gonna give you food. They gonna give you school clothes. They gonna give you the lunch program. They gonna give you free bus fare. They're gonna give you all these things to make you think that we're taking care of you. But in all actuality, what they know is that small amount of money that they giving away for free food and free bus programs and all that doesn't amount to how much you give back to them. It doesn't even set a dent in how much blacks and Hispanics is worth to this American society. What Republicans understand is that we're still slaves. They know it. They know we're still slaves. They fighting the battle that they fought during Civil War. They fighting the same battle. How about let's just tell them they slaves? That's what Republicans want. Just let them know that we supreme over them. They slaves. We want y'all to get yourselves together. And Democrats like, nah, how about we just give them everything they need, and that way we make sure that they do whatever we need them to do. We keep our finger on them. We make sure that they can't do nothing without us watching them. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about, what does it take for you to get Section 8? It takes for the government to have every single piece of information about you and your family and your household and your children. What does it take for you to get food stamps? The government has to know everything about why should they give you free food stamps and then you have to give them everything they need to know about everybody in your household? How does that make sense to you? Because you're brainwashed. You understand? Go ahead, Slock.
Yes, sir. And on top of it, the man can't be in the household. And if you're a woman, I know back in the days, I got me a food stamp card. They gave $27 on that junk.
Good night.
27. They thought I could survive a whole month with no job with $27. But when a woman get it, they could have 3 kids. They had $1,200 on a food stamp card. So
no, if you mind the fact since you on there, give me Luke 11:21.
Come on. So.
You understand this? Matter of fact, now give me Mark 3:27. I'm gonna get that with you too. And this is spot on to what the brother was just saying. You understand? Their main focus is to get a strong black man outside of their household. It's easy to coerce, just like in the Garden of Eden. It's so easy to coerce a sister because a sister has just a little bit more compassion and a little bit more emotion than the understanding that rules have to be kept, established and kept. You understand? Ain't no veering off. What a man knows is if a man comes into his household, I'm gonna die for this household. And here's the even stronger part of that. If a man comes into my household and kills me, and my son sees me die by the hands of an oppressor, guess what my son's gonna do? He's gonna grow up hating the oppressor.
That's right.
He's gonna grow up hating the man who killed the man that he saw as the leader and the protector of his household. So what do? You just take him out of the household. You won't see your father be the valiant black man that he's supposed to be on this earth. You won't see your father be the provider he's supposed to be on this earth. He'll make you forget about all those days that you was able to just lay on your father and watch TV at the age of 2 or 3 years old.
That's right.
And go play basketball with your father in the driveway in a crate because we was living in poverty, but we made it work for our families. You'll never get to see that part of a black man. The only part of a black man you will get to see is your mama and your daddy fighting and arguing because your daddy can't come see you. Because your mom been promised that she'll get food, she'll get housing, she'll get clothes for you for school, and child support from that man as long as you keep him out of the house.
Good night.
It's a goddamn. Not only is it, I hate people saying that it's a conspiracy when it's not a conspiracy. When data shows that this is happening all across America in droves. It's like it's not just one family. There's multiple families. Hell, on the south side of Chicago, maybe 30% of the families don't have fathers in them. I don't know the exact data, but I'm gonna tell you that I've lived on the south side of Chicago. And I've had a lot of friends, and I don't know if I had 2, maybe one that had a father, 2 that had a father in the household. 2. So, I mean, you tell me. Go ahead, you got that.
You said Mark 7.
3:27, if you could.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, you swap.
This the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods.
No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods. You understand? The spoiling of his goods is me being a strong man. I lay down a foundation. I set standards. I set rules. You understand? The only way that my family can be spoiled or wasted, a lot of times when the Bible says spoiled, it means wasted. You know what I'm saying? Your family is wasted if they have no rule, if they have no head, if they had nobody to give them some type of directions. You spoil a family. You understand? It's have a livestock of bulls and don't know it and just leave them out in the wilderness. Just see what's gonna happen. They'll have no direction. They'll be spoiled. They'll be left to die. Read.
Except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
So if in order for a man to spoil your family, he'll have to get to that strong man first. He'll have to get to that strong man. How do they do that? They do that through making sure that the father cannot be in the house in order for the kids to get food, in order for the kids to get clothing, in order for you to have a roof over your head. And then they lock the man up for the smallest of things. And when they get out, they can't get a job. So now they can't even support their family. And now everything is rested on the shoulders of our sisters. You understand it? And don't get me wrong. I respect because I came up under a single parent household. I respect a sister who has to do what she has to do to make sure that her kids survive. Here's what I want respect. Any sister who believes that it's better to take the easy way out, you're weak. The easy way out ain't getting rid of your man, getting rid of this father because he ain't making the amount of money that you need him to make. Because at the end of the day, his value is still there because he can still protect your home. When I hear sisters say, I'm gonna build this brother up and all that, this brother, let me tell you something. Sisters who want to build brothers up, you won't do nothing but end up destroying them. The only sisters that I have ever seen build brothers up is sisters in Isupk because they know their place. They know how to shut their damn mouth. Look, if you're making $100,000 a year, your husband making $100,000 a year, that's real love.
That's right. Damn right.
Real love ain't you holding that over his head because the brother can't make no money because his baby mama put him on child support. He couldn't pay it, so they put him in jail for 3 years, and then he can't get a job. How are you empowering a man by hanging $100,000 job over his head because he had no other option? Here's how you build up a black man. Sis, just in case you're wondering. That $100,000, every time you get paid, every 2 weeks or however you get paid, you put that in that brother's bank account and let that brother lead his family the way he needs to be led. And I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna make mistakes, but after a while, he's gonna learn how to rule over his family the correct way. He's gonna get confidence in order and get himself up out of that house and put his own money into it. And that's how you're gonna build that brother up, not being a monster, man. Go ahead.
That's heavy what you're bringing out, sir. It's like, hey, you women, and then this is the craziest part about it. You see women do it. Like they take what they do. This the number one thing in the hood, the ghetto, in the barrios or whatever. Them women get them tax checks, them return checks. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna give my man $3,000 so he can get him some dope so he can sell drugs." Like you rather give this money to your man to kill it, to get it to either go to jail or to destroy himself and destroy his people. Like, make that make sense. Like, why don't you give your man $3,000 and tell him, hey, go buy you know what I'm saying, a box truck, or put something down on a box truck so you can start your own business. You know what I'm saying? Take that $3,000, that $5,000 you give them, tell them go get a van so you can start, you know what I'm saying? You can start your own, a little hot shot business. You can do whatever you want to do. Right. But instead of telling them to go take your $5,000, your $3,000, and here's the issue, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
That $3,000, $5,000 that you gave him, now you ain't got him to bail his dumb self out of jail. Because now he gonna get locked up. or you ain't gonna be able to bury him because he gonna die. Either he's gonna die or he's gonna get locked up, and not a $5,000 you just got from your father that you call the government.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna be able to bail you. That's when you said buying a strong man. That's why I brought it out. You said buying a strong. That's another one. Like women buying strong men too. They use you to bind a strong man, and you just being so much of a dummy that you just ride. I got 5,000. I'm going ahead to let them get some work because they make quick money doing that. Come on, man. Don't be an idiot. Y'all, some of y'all women got to stop being idiots.
In the heavy part of what you talking about, if I could, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
The heavy part about it, if I could, is women are so much about vanity these days that that money is so tempting and so easy, to take over a man or helping to be. I like to say helping to build a man up, because I will tell you there is sisters that are legit. There are sisters that started this school off that it was them. You see how we got sisters that cook feast days and all that. We had sisters that held down the fort in the Isupk under Commander Johanna.
That's right.
So when we talk about establishing women who helps in the buildup of a man having his rulership and having a stable rulership, yes, we have that here. We have it here. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with works. The works of a woman is what the Lord is pleased with. It has nothing to do with your doggone money, man. It has nothing to do with you. I had the kid. I had the baby. You understand? The Lord gave you that baby, man. And fortunately, the Lord gave you a man to give you that baby, because that present cannot be given to you by yourself. Believe that. But I will tell you this: if you brothers and sisters, man, don't come together and continue to love one another and be brotherly to each other and sisterly each other, the kingdom's never going to come. Christ is waiting on the order, and only the Most High knows when he's going to want this kingdom to be returned back into the blacks and Hispanics on earth.
That's right.
You understand? But what he's also waiting on is for what Zephaniah 2:1 said, for you to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired.
That's right.
We're not desired because we don't even desire each other. You understand? Why would the Most High send Christ back right now? What would Christ benefit coming back right now? He would have to kill 75% of the earth, if not more. You don't have too many people. Hell, you don't have too many people that's following Christ. You understand? And the other half of the people who he don't come back and kill, they're gonna probably drop dead when they see Christ and the angels come. They're gonna be like, they didn't know that this was the truth. I know the Christian pastor never told me this, and I heard them brothers yelling loud on the corners on Saturdays and Fridays telling us about cracking skies. But it's just like our Christian pastor lied to us too. So why should we believe them? We're telling you, the Bible says, cry loud. Spare not nobody's feelings. What we go on the corners on Saturdays and Fridays to do is to, although we love you, blacks and Hispanics, we can't spare it. We have to be the ones who spare not your feelings, man. We have to say exactly what needs to be said. We have to say, if you're a homosexual, the Lord is going to put you to death. If you're a drug dealer and you're selling drugs and being a witch to your brothers and sisters, you're going to be put to death. If you're going to be a gangbanger and fight and shoot and kill your brothers, you're going to get the same punishment that your brothers have received, man. The Lord wants us to come together like Zephaniah 2:1 said, because he knows once we come together as a family, then we can establish something. Mm-hmm. Once we come together, we can understand what Christ was here to teach.
That's right.
Christ was here to teach about family. That's why, and I'm paraphrasing, he was with the disciples and he said, your mother and brother wish to speak to you. And he said, who is my mother and who is my brother? And then he said, behold, the disciple, and reached over towards the disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brother. Because to Christ, his family was the ones who follow him. And to Christ, we're his family because Commander Johanna has been following Christ since he came into the truth.
That's right. And
he has brothers and sisters that follow right behind him. So to Christ, this is his family.
That's right.
You understand?
Damn right.
Most High Christ.
Damn right.
You got any more on that?
You wanted that Mark.
Keep going in Mark.
Oh, come on. This Mark 28.
Start back at the top if you could.
Come on, sir. Mark 3, chapter 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
And this even goes back to what I was just talking about with Christ. It's so heavy that that Christ came to save his house. Christ came to save his house. And the only way that they was going to destroy us is if they was able to bind Christ. They wasn't able to bind Christ. Christ took it all the way to the death. That's the type of man you should be in this truth. That's the type of man you should be in your house.
Damn right.
You should be a man who will die for your house to live.
That's right.
And what Christ did was Christ died for his house to live. They wasn't able to bind them. They bind them in physical. But guess what it did? Everybody who watched his death, just like I just said earlier, if your son watched you get killed for an unrighteous reason, he's going to grow up hating everything about what happened, meaning the people who killed. And then what do you get? You get a group of what they call the resistance. If you look over in Afghanistan and Iraq right now, those resistance over in Iraq and Afghanistan are children who watched the government kill their fathers.
Damn right.
That's what it's about. Go ahead.
That's heavy. Would you like if children watch their fathers go to jail, they end up going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
If children watch their fathers, selling drugs, what do? They sell drugs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids watch their father fix cars.
Mm-hmm.
What they do, they grow up fixing cars. We got to get back into that place where we in this truth and go and follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
Mm-hmm.
And once we do that, what's gonna happen? Our kids are gonna follow law, statutes, and commandments because that's what they grew up seeing their father doing. They don't. You don't necessarily see kids do what their mother do,
Mm-hmm.
like not especially not sons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe these days because you got the big the homophobic thing going on, but a lot of times when men grew up or boys grew up, they did what their father did. If their father went to jail, they went to jail. If their father sold drugs, they sold drugs. If their father fixed cars, they fixed cars.
Damn right.
Now it's time for brothers and sisters to understand that if you're Black, Hispanic, Native American, Indian, get these men inside of the ISUPK so when your sons grow up, they start following the law, statutes, and commandments. We can build a great nation as we have at one point in time.
Damn right.
Water, sir.
No, that's extra heavy what you're saying. And the ISUPK has taught so many men how to go out of the destructive state of being destroyed due to brainwashing of the earth, of this society. And I give all the props to Commander Junior Hanna, of course, who follows Christ.
Damn right.
And all the generals, all the captains, all the officers, man, all these troopers who and young men who decided to be different than everybody else in the earth, who decided to cleanse themselves of being a vain and vile thing on the earth and want to be somebody who's at one point in time, as long as you endure to the end, you're gonna have some rulership inside of this kingdom.
Damn right.
You understand? And this is so tough to maintain. Believe me, it's not something that's as easy as walking into a class. You have to change your life. You have to care enough about your brothers and your family and the people around you to want to be here and maintain that rulership. You understand? It's a lot of brothers who fall out of the truth because, once again, your flesh, just like Paul said, it's hard to sustain in this flesh, man. If you continue to believe that you can get through, being in the truth just fleshly, you already lost the fight.
That's right.
I had one of the brothers tell me, you can't be prideful. And at the time I was, how every brother is, you ain't got something, you're like, I ain't gonna ask everybody. And something that small is just selfish. It's just selfish. If you can't ask your brother to help you, then you don't love your brother. You don't love your brother. If you are so selfish enough to say, hey, brother, look, gas price is kind of high, man. You think you can loan me $10, man? I'll get it to you, whenever I can. That's selfish if you can't do that. I don't need to ask nobody for nothing. That's selfish. That's unbrotherly, man. And in here, Commander Junior Hanna just teaches us not to be that way. You understand? Slack you.
done with that, sir.
That's it on that. All right. If you could give me my bad, I was wrong. Give me John, 1 John 3:10. But this is, and I'm gonna tell you, this is why Memorial Day, and not only Memorial Day, but all these holidays is so wicked and so vile. Is like these are customs that was never supposed to be given to us, but yet we follow them out of fear. We follow them out of brainwashing. We follow them, you know, sometimes out of the joy of the flesh, because they did allow us to do certain things on holidays that they wouldn't let us do in slavery, you know, on normal days. But what it created was blacks and Hispanics becoming the most vile people on earth and the most really the most dangerous people on earth, to be honest. And the world looks at us as animals. And America makes sure that they show the world everything that we do when it comes down to, you know, the murder rate in Chicago, murder rate in New Orleans, murder rate in New York and Detroit. The world knows that. The world knows that each one of these cities are violent cities with blacks and Hispanics in it that are killing each other. You know why? Because the agenda is, as long as they keep killing each other, no one can ever ask us to be justified in killing another black or Hispanic man.
Damn right.
If my police officer kills them, it's because on old block they all kill each other.
That's right.
So I feel for my life. That's an easy win for a police officer. That if any police officer run up on old block, that brother can be sleep on the ground and they can shoot him to death, and it will be justified because they were scared because of where they were at, because they were on old block. I didn't know what he was gonna do. He got up real rapidly. They'll make anything up. And that's what is destroying us daily, man. These holidays is killing us, and we got to come up out of it. Go ahead.
Oh God. It's the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 10.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead.
John, God, this is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 10. In this, the children of God are manifested, and the children of the devil.
So, Slocky, if I could, and this is saying, this is giving you separation. In this, the children of God is manifested, and the children of the devil. Go ahead.
Go on, and Slocky, if I may, that's why they put that. I'm asking for, is that why they put the comma just to separate the two? Saying I'm talking about two different types of people at the time. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God.
So he does not do of righteousness, which means he doesn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and do the things that are righteous according to the Most High. Read.
Is not of God. Neither is he that loveth not his brother.
Neither he that loveth not his brother. So all you brothers is out there shooting each other and calling each other ops and you know what I'm saying? It's not of the Most High. The Most High, he demands that you love your brother. It's a requirement. You understand? And I'm paraphrasing. It says, you know, the law hangs on two things: love God, and then love thy brother like you love yourself. If you knew you made a mistake, wouldn't you want somebody to you understand, show you some type of damn mercy? If you know you made a mistake, wouldn't you want somebody to say, you know what I'm saying, brother, why you do that, you know, and give you a chance to rectify what you've done? Here's what I've realized, Wada. Here's what I realized. A lot of brothers, majority of things that happen when it comes to black on black crime and black on Hispanic on Hispanic crime and black on Hispanic crime comes when you're under the influence of something. you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs or you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. And what you tend not to realize is that brother wasn't even in the right state of mind. You should at least give him a chance to plead his case before you go and murder him in the street in front of his kids and his mama. You understand? Go ahead.
So like that's heavy what you breaking out, sir.
Most High in Christ.
Because like in the school, in the ISUPK, you know, we first off we tell brothers don't ever put marijuana, don't ever smoke weed. First off, that's a violent, nasty, and disgusting thing. One of the most disgusting things you could ever do is defile your body with marijuana or anything that you got to smoke, anything that you smoke. Period.
Right.
But you know, even though we have we drink, we have brothers that if we get in a situation where we even if a brother tend to like see us getting like a little bit over what we need to be at, they gonna hey brother, hey, I'm gonna take command. Even if it's a man, no, I'm gonna take command. You right now, I think you had too many. That's like love. That's real. Like they don't in the streets, and I'm just gonna go off something that used to happen that I seen. If brothers was drunk in the streets, the brothers get to pass them more liquor to get them drunk. Like what they want to do is get him as drunk as he possibly can to get him out of his body. And then now he became courageous because how intoxicated he was that he wasn't even himself no more. Well, here they don't allow brother. You gonna be the same brother in when you drink, then and the same brother when you're not drinking.
Damn right.
You're gonna be the exact same brother. Ain't gonna be no changing. You're just gonna be a little happier, but you ain't finna come in here with this. We all being in here, but we ain't gonna sit here and just because you got alcohol, you think you're gonna fight your brother. No, the brother in here too strong, and we don't allow it. So it's just heavy that you brought that up because brothers love to get drunk, fight, and shoot people out in the world. We don't. That ain't the Commander Jerry Yohana has put something together here that is very special when it comes to brotherhood, and nothing else is nowhere near this.
Damn right. So. Damn right. And what you're saying is so spot on and so right because what the brothers in here has learned how to do is put their emotions to the side. You understand? Not put their own lust of their own heart, you know what I'm saying, into battle with his morality to his brother. You know what I'm saying? Just because I want something so bad don't mean that I have to kill my brother to get it. And that's what's happening in every city in America. Brothers are seeing brothers with 28s on their whips, you know what I'm saying? And they want to kill a brother and shoot a brother for having a little bit of bread, man, having a little bit of money, for getting a blessing. You understand? And this is what we've been dealing with since the beginning of the times. You understand? Which we finna go into right now. Go ahead if you could keep going.
Come on, sir. Verse 11. For this is the message that Salaki, you want me to start back at 10 and go
stay right there.
Come on, Salaki, sir. Verse 11, for this is the message that ye heard from the beginning.
So this is the message that we heard from the beginning to love your brother. This is the message from the beginning of time that you know we were established in the Garden of Eden. This is what we heard. That's why it says from the beginning. Go ahead.
That we should love one another.
So for all you who say that the law, statutes, and commandments wasn't happening in Adam's time, it wasn't given to Adam. This is telling you that this was established. This is the message that was given to Adam too, to love your brother like you love yourself. This is the same thing that was given to Adam, to Cain, to Abel, to every one of them in the garden. It says from the beginning, for this was the message that was heard from the beginning. You understand? Read.
Go on, sir. Verse 12. Not as Cain, who was Salakia. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one.
Not as Cain. So in the beginning, it established that this is how you decide who's God's children, and this is how you decide who's the devil's children, who's Satan's children, right? It said, not as Cain, who was in the wicked one. Go ahead.
And slew his brother.
To slew his brother, which y'all brothers is doing in the ghettos and the barrios of America every single day. Y'all brothers is slaying your brothers, man. This has been happening since the beginning, but the law, the decree has been out since the beginning to love your brother.
That's right.
Read.
And wherefore slew he him, because his own work.
Go back.
Oh, Salakia.
That's a question.
Oh, Salakia. And wherefore slew he him?
And why did he slay him? This is what I just talked about. You brothers is killing each other over fleshly lust. Read.
Oh God. Because his own works were evil.
Because his own works were evil. Read.
And his brothers was righteous.
And his brothers was righteous, man. So Cain killed Abel because Abel was living righteously, man. And Cain wasn't. The reason we walk into this school and try to become better men is because we know that there's a father out there that maybe ain't killing and selling drugs and all that, but he may be the next one to get killed by his brother. But we want to be the ones that cry loud and say, stop killing your brother, man. The only way out of this hell and out of this destruction is for us to stop killing one another. This is the decree that was given to Adam, to Cain, to Abel, to everybody, to love your brother, love one another, love your brother like you love yourself. Give your brother that same mercy that you would want to be given if you did something that was out of character.
That's right.
You understand? All Abel was doing was being righteous. And for that, he got slayed. He got slew by his brother. It's the same thing that's happening all over the earth right now, man. You know, and this is the same battle that Christ, you got to realize that this was happening in the garden in the beginning. It happened when Christ returned, when Christ came and returned and you know, came to fight for his brothers in the spirit of brotherhood. And it's happening today. It's still happening where we're killing and not loving our brother the way that the Most High has ordered us to do so.
That's right.
You understand? And this it destroyed the family in Adam's time. It destroyed the family in Christ's time, and it's destroying the family now.
That's right.
Why do you think Zephaniah 2:1 has to say, "Gather yourselves together, O nation not desire"? Because there's nothing new that happens under the sun. You know what I'm saying? This is all. The Bible also says what happened aforetime happened for our learning. We're not learning that this is the reason we're destroyed. We're not learning that every time we start hating ourselves, we start killing each other and we become the slaves on this earth. We was the slaves when Christ came. Do you not realize we was under the Roman Empire then? Yet the greatest people on the face of the earth, according to God, are living like slaves.
That's right.
You understand? The Bible, and I'm paraphrasing, said saw slaves riding on horses, and king. You know what I'm saying?
You mean kings riding on horses? Like, if I may, kings. You seen kings? Slaves. Yeah, riding on horses and kings. So basically, it was your blacks and Hispanics were the one being chained and shackled next to men who were claiming themselves to be the kings of the world. When the real kings of the world were the ones that were being
that was in slavery at the time. We was the ones noosed up and being carried across in chains, while the true slaves of the earth was riding horses and riding mighty and high. You understand? And it was because of our disobedience to the Most High. Is us not following the rules that our Father set out for us. You understand? You got something?
I was just gonna say, sir, that's heavy what you're bringing out, because it's like
right.
The Lord scattered us. He scattered us abroad for us to come back together. You know, like it's heavy that in Deuteronomy he scattered he told us our nations was gonna be scattered, but then Zephaniah tell you to come together. So that lets you know the reason why we in slavery and the reason why we in the position that we in right now. This is the Lord's punishment, 100%. The Lord the Lord told Moses to tell the people this is going to happen once you start disobeying the Lord's law.
Damn right.
So then Zephaniah 2:1 tell you to come together. No nation not desired. This is like, oh, now you know that you the nation not desired. You should know what I told you in Deuteronomy. You know what I'm saying? Starting at verse 28:1 all the way up. I told you what you had to do to gather yourself back together. You know what I'm saying? I told you what you had to do to continue to separate, or to separate yourself, and everything that goes on in the Black, Hispanic, Native, the Native Indian, areas of the towns, it's scattering us more apart. And the reason is because we eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster.
Damn right.
It's because we, celebrate these holidays that we celebrate because we die more on the oppressor don't die on these holidays. They don't die. Look up the 40. Salaki, sir, for being a tad bit long with it, because 43 people.
No, you good to go.
43 people getting killed on a holiday, on a Memorial Day, and this article says that Chicago knows that it was going to happen already. Like Chicago said, "Hey, we are getting ready for this because we know that blacks and Hispanics are going to get killed at a multitude this weekend."
They said Salaki, if I could, at a historical rate. Historical rate.
So this is like, how could you be black, Hispanic, and still celebrate it? Like, how could you look at this and celebrate and to even think about it? Like, say, I might be the one dead next year. Like, I made it through this year, but next year I might be that 43. I might be that 8 that died. Like, not even that. The year after that, I might be the 8 that died. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Slovakia, because that's for you to celebrate these man, horrible holidays that we have in America. You just gotta. You just come out of America. Just come out of America. Salakia. That's the main thing.
It's heavy what you speaking on too, because even today and during the weekend, I've had encounters. Would you say my rib? Her father does something for Memorial Day every year. So of course the kids, they so used to it. It's my daughter saying, "Yeah, do you mind if I go out to Granddaddy's house, Granddaddy's, campground?" You know what I'm saying? He just barbecuing. And I said, "You know what he barbecuing for, right?" "No, well, I'm just going out there to be with my cousins." Here's where you have to have some resistance when it comes to what you're fighting for.
Right.
You're fighting to not show that we will join ourselves to any of this, regardless of what you try to make this out to be. And that's how Thanksgiving, this is the same way Thanksgiving has been portrayed to blacks and Hispanics. Well, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, you just there to be with your family. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't celebrate Christmas, let's just do the ugly sweater. Ugly sweater ain't got nothing to do with Christmas. It's just, but every year, Ugly Sweater Day has Christmas trees on it. You understand? And this is how they brainwashed us for a long time, man, because they think that we're idiots when blacks and Hispanics are the most intelligent people on earth if you put your mind together.
That's right.
You understand? Right. Damn right. Keep going on that.
Verse 12, Salakia. Verse 13, marvel not, my brother, if the world hates you.
Keep going.
Verse 14, we know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren.
We pass from death to life because we love our brethren.
That's right.
Because we walked into the Isupk under Commander General Yohana.
Damn right.
You understand? We could have been out on the street in not in the mercy of the Lord. We could have been one of those 43 brothers and sisters who got shot today. We could have been one of those thousands of brothers and sisters that get shot over the years. I mean, over the just a 1 year span in multiple cities. We could have been one of them because, we marvel not. And we came into our brotherhood and wanted to gain a brother. We stepped out of America's ways. We were the Zephaniah 2 and 1s who came together, and not one of the ones that wears a United States flag on a Dago tee or leggings made of the American flag. We came here. We understood our true culture according to the Bible. You understand? Read.
Come, God.
Read that from the top again. That's heavy. The top of 14.
Come, God. Sir. Verse 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life.
This says we know we passed from death when we was out there in the streets. Half of the brothers in this school were thugs, drug dealers, whatever you can be. You understand? We passed from death into brotherhood, into being with our brethren. Read. It's a life. When he says life is being being in this brotherhood and following the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why they call the Bible the book of life. When you come into this school and start following the law, statutes, and commandments according to this Bible, you live. When you don't, you become 43 gunshot victims on Memorial Day. You understand? Read.
Because we love the brethren.
Go ahead.
He that loveth not his brethren abideth in death.
He that loveth not his brethren abideth in death. That's why every time the GDs kill the BDs go and kill the GDs. Every time you kill his brother, he's going to kill your brother. Every time you kill his little brother, he's going to kill your mama. Anybody who don't understand that brotherhood is the biggest weapon that the Most High has given us.
Right.
After following the law, statutes, and commandments, and this should go coincide one and one with it, then you don't understand why it's so powerful for us to be one and come together and not deal with the outside world, especially when it comes to anything that the oppressor gives us. Anything that the oppressor gives you, know that it's rat poison. It's going to kill you.
That's right.
There's nothing that the oppressor gives you that is going to be beneficial to your race of people. Maybe to you at the time. Maybe to you. But there's nothing that the oppressor will ever give you that's beneficial to your race, to your nation. You understand? To the Isukarites, to the Judites, to the Gadites, to the Benjamites. There's not one thing that they have ever given us that was going to benefit our nation. Because if they did, we would be above them right now.
Right.
The only thing that benefits blacks and Hispanics, North American Indians in this earth is the law, statutes, and commandments. It gives us our kingdom back. And until we start following this, we're gonna be held in subjection like we are right now. We're gonna be destroyed in multiple ways and not just one. Go ahead.
Oh, God, sir. Verse 15. Verse 16. Oh, it's like it. Verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Whosoever hated his brother is a murderer. You understand? And you see this every single day. When you hate your brother, you will kill your brother. If you hate your brother, not only will you kill him in the physical, you will kill him in the spirit. You won't lift your brother up. If your brother don't have what he needs to suffice in his house, food, water, toilet tissue, whatever it is, you will let your brother die in his own spirit, knowing that he can't fend for himself. If you don't love your brother, you a murderer to your brother, man.
That's right.
That's why in Isupk, if our brothers need anything, guess who takes care of each other? They brothers make sure that if they need toilet tissue for the house, they get toilet tissue.
That's right.
If they need food for home, they get food. If they need water, they get water. You know why? Because we're one family.
That's right.
We're one body, and this body is under Christ. And in the physical right now, led by Commander Junior Hana, who follows every single step that Christ has told him to follow. And because of that, he has created some valiant priests in the world.
That's right.
That's building up this nation day by day. We don't care about our own lust. We don't care about the things that we love in this earth so much. We have to sacrifice that to be a better man for our nation of people. We have to be the reason that Zephaniah 2:1 happens. Because if it ain't for us, then our nation is continued to be destroyed. You understand? Go ahead, keep reading.
Oh, God, sir.
You're in the middle of 15.
Come on, God. And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
And ye know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him. And in the top of 15, it says, whosoever hated his brother is a murderer. You understand? If you hate your brother, you don't care if your brother lives or dies. Which means you just as much of a murderer as the man who kills him. If I don't go out on a corner and tell my brother that he's dying by not following the law, statutes, and commandments, I'm a part of that murder. If I don't sit there and tell my brother to stop smoking weed, stop selling drugs, stop being in a gang, I'm a part of the murder that's going to happen to him in the streets. If I hated my brother enough to not tell him how to keep living, then I am a murderer. You understand? Read.
Oh, God, sir. Verse 16, hereby perceive we the love of God. That's like it. Did I read that? Salakia. Hereby perceive we the love of God because we laid down his life. I mean, Salakia, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Because Christ laid down his life for us, we should lay down our lives for our brethren as well. You understand? This is an example that was given by the highest ranking man who ever walked the face of this earth.
That's right.
Which was Christ.
That's right.
And anybody who has the rank that Christ has and was willing to give us an ultimate example of dying for his brethren, you should be willing to do the same thing.
That's right.
You understand? And that not only is that something that you should want to do, you feel like it's your obligation.
That's right.
In life. You should want to die as a priest of the Lord, fighting for the evolution of his people and the kingdom of his people to return back to them.
That's right.
You understand? And that's what Christ was dying for. That's what he fought for, and that's what he died for his kingdom to be returned back into his hands. You understand? It takes a true king to die for his own kingdom. And the Most High understood that sacrifice. And that's why when he comes back and when he returns, he will be the leader of this nation. You understand? And rightfully.
God.
So like, if you could give me this is gonna be the last. Give me John 15. No, don't give me that. Yeah, give me John 15 and 12. 13. If you love your brothers, man, you got to come out of this hellhole called America, man. Stop following these holidays, these Memorial Days, these Christmases, all these days that you know the oppressor have given you to be happy and be around your family. Pick a day outside of it. We're not telling you to don't be with your family. That's not something that we tell you. What we are telling you is, you know, if it has something to do with the slaughter, the raping and slaughtering and killing and the success that the oppressor has had over your people, why would you go and celebrate those days? You got Native Americans in your family right now that don't understand that Thanksgiving has everything to do with the slaughtering of their people. Blacks and Hispanics, we have to realize that 4th of July has everything to do with them having you in chains and in slavery. You understand? In order for us to get out of that, we have to love ourselves a little bit more than we do right now. Right now, we love our oppressor. Bible says, if we not the oppressor, choose none of his ways, but yet we choose all of his ways.
Okay.
You understand? Read John 15 and 12 if you could.
So like if I may, could I start at 9?
Yeah, go for it. Let me get that with you too, though.
Come on. So like if I may.
No, you too wild. Man, that's crazy. I had the bookmark right on it too. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of John, chapter 15, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
As the Father, Salakia, as the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. This is Christ speaking again. As the Father loved him, you know what I'm saying? So have he loved you. And not only has he loved you, he said, what at the end? Come. Continue ye in my love.
And he continually love you. You understand? Not only does he love you, but no matter how much you do all these things after he done died for you to live, no matter how much you focus on that white man they call Caesar Borgia and say that that's Christ, no matter how much you say Christ wasn't real, he still loves you continually. While you hate him, he loves you. Read.
Right. Verse 10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
So if you keep his commandments, then you go and abide in his love. Because what is love?
Following the law, statutes, Slack, sir.
Go ahead.
Follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
And that's exactly what Christ is saying right now. If you keep his commandments, if you keep the things that he commanded you to do, then you're going to continually stay in his love. Read.
Come on, sir. Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Even as when his father commanded him to do something, he followed that command. This is why his father loves him.
That's right.
And this is the same way, the same reason why Christ will love us. You got to understand that the Most High gave Christ commands too. And when Christ had his commands, he had to carry them out. It's just like we have sons today. If I tell my son to do something, when he completes his objective, guess what that does to a father? You know, you a father. What does it do to you when your son complete the commandment that you gave him?
They put the biggest smile on my face I ever seen. I say, my boy, I told him to do this. He did it. I ain't tell him how to do it. I just said, hey, this what you do. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dad, don't worry, I got it. He come back, get the job done. I know that my orders that I gave him allowed him to become a stronger man.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the times, you know, the Bible says don't make it grievous. A lot of times it's grievous in your flesh. Don't let it be grievous in your spirit. The reason that we know that the reason he knows his son loves him by following his command is because it's a task that's grievous that he didn't let his flesh defeat his spirit over. That's how you know you love your father. Read that part again if you could, Baba Bashar.
Come. We had 10. So if ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love.
Go ahead.
Even as I have kept my father's commandments and abide in his love.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 11, these things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. Verse 12, this is my commandment.
So this is his commandment. You understand? And anytime you read in the Bible, you have to read the scriptures ahead because it gives context to the script, the what we would call the highlighted scripture. You understand? And right before he read this, you got to remember that Christ, this is Christ speaking. He said, as my father Salaki, he says, if you keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my father's commandments and abide in his love. Now read 12.
Come, sir. Right where I was at.
Start at 12.
Come. Verse 12, this is my commandment.
Now this is his commandments to us. Read.
That ye love one another as I have loved you.
Now this is his commandment, that you love one another as Christ loved you. This is telling you how you keep in Christ's love, and you keep in the Most High's love, because you have to love your brother. You have to love each other the way that Christ loved his brothers and made sure that the disciples love one another. You got something?
Oh, so like no, sir.
Go ahead, read.
Verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
There's no greater love on this earth than a brother who will lay down his life for another one of his brothers. And this is talking carnally and spiritually. In order for me to lay down my life for my brethren, I had to get out the streets and come in here and lay down that old man who was what my filthy, disgusting name was when I was in the world, to Officer Kazai on the 500. I laid down my life for my brethren. I had to get rid of that old man and shake him off. And today, I'm following the law, statutes, and commandments and praying with tears in my eyes to the Most High that he accepts me at the end of the day.
That's right.
You understand? Read.
Come on, sir. Verse 14, ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you.
You Christ friends if you do what he told you to do. Not only is that a real leader, that's a man who deserves to be a king, a man who knows what rulership is about. If you want to be allies with me, if you want to be friends with me, then you do what I told you to do. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself killed, and I can't benefit off you. I can't benefit off you being my brother if you get yourself killed because you didn't listen to me. You understand? My son, I can't benefit off my son getting better and greater in life and taking on my legacy if he don't listen to me and he get himself killed? You understand? How can I be a good leader if I don't raise somebody under me to be a good leader? Because obviously this is going to have to keep going. I'm not going to be here forever. And the only thing I can do is teach somebody under me, like my son and like Ramawan and his son, how to be better leaders and get your emotions out of ruling. You can't rule anything emotionally, man.
That's right.
It just doesn't work together. You understand? That's it on that.
Couple cons, sir.
All right, with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer 500 or Ramawan.